Welcome back from that short break, and if you're just joining us, you're right in time for Twitter Jabs Part 2, where we bring a personality to take the center stage of the conversation. And joining me this morning in regard to the trade war that of course is ongoing between Uganda and Kenya. Of course, this comes at a backdrop of when Uganda, that is under the cabinet minister, decided to say that, you know what, enough is enough. Kenya has for long banned our goods. Now it's time for us to retaliate. And of course, that was said by Rebecca Kadaga. Let's get into that conversation. However, joining me in studio today is none other than Peter Senkugu. Did I get that right? Good morning and thank you for joining us today on Sunrise at Sea.
Thank you so much. The name is Senkugu Peter.
Senkugu Peter.
Senkungu.
Panage.
It's okay, it's okay.
But anyway, Peter is the Secretary Poultry Association of Uganda.
Right.
Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation, and I hope by the time we actually wind it up, we're able to have picked a thing or two and a way forward. But before we even dive into the conversation, I would like to understand from your lenses, behind the scenes, when you look at what is going on with between Uganda and Kenya, what do you make out of it?
I think it's very unfortunate that we brothers and sisters, Kenyans and Ugandans, are more of same family. But when the family gets problems, definitely someone needs to turn up and put it in order. It's a very unfortunate situation that we find ourselves in. It's not very good to find ourselves at such a situation.
Yeah. It
can be avoided, but who to blame? Maybe the leaders are not doing enough. We need to do more to ensure that we don't find ourselves in such situations. A lot could have been done before we find ourselves in this situation.
Before the situation escalated?
Yeah, because it's not the first time. So our leaders need to do more, especially the leaders in Uganda need to do more. Yeah.
Now, looking at statistics, of course, they indicate that Uganda produces about 70% of which is exported to Kenya, and then we have 10% which is exported to DRC of Congo and Sudan, while 20% is consumed by the locals. Now, if Kenya is to decide to ban some of our poultry products, what does this mean for Uganda at large, before even getting into the poultry sector?
The ban has already happened, so it's not that if they decide. They have done this before, they always do it, and they have done it again. So the impact is always on the farmer, the self-made farmer, because we want to categorically say that a lot of the poultry farmers are self-made. We have very limited support, if any, from the government in terms of growing our businesses. So the losses that we get are still hitting on the private farmer. Okay, yes, the government sometimes facilitates, but they can do more. So the impact has always been losses, losing property, lives tarnishing, people losing jobs. So this has always been the impact whenever we find ourselves in such a situation.
So what does this mean for you under the Secretary of Poultry Association? What does this mean?
No, cries all over. Cries all over from the members, loss of business. And also it is a risk to a lot of Ugandans because eggs play a very vital role in improving improving the food security, averting malnutrition. There are a lot of benefits, but also for the region because Kenya cannot produce enough for themselves. So whenever we cannot access their markets, the prices of eggs will go up in Kenya because their production cannot match the production of Uganda.
But looking at the trade that is between Uganda and Kenya, would you say that Kenya has been a consistent partner even when it comes to them providing for us the goods that they ought to?
Kenya is a very strategic partner for Uganda, just like we are a very strategic partner in their development for their industries. As you are aware that Kenya sells here around $600 million.
Compared to what we sell?
We sell 400 to them. So there's a deficit of $200 million. So they sell more to us. So the impact is on both sides. But Kenya has more to lose if we have good trade bargainers, people who can discuss the trade on our side very strategically. There's a lot that we can get back. The deficit will always be there, and that's not the important part. But where we have comparative advantage, we basically would request that Kenya lets us enjoy the cooperative advantage because they also have cooperative advantage in most of the areas that we can never compete. Yeah.
Now, let's take a look at the reasons, because earlier on my colleague and Sarah were talking about, there's a tweet that actually came in and said the reason as to why they are doing this, or probably is either because of being substandard, our goods are substandard, but also they are claiming that they want to support their very own farmers to get back on their feet during COVID-19. Would you say that is a valid reason?
Okay, to take it step by step, supporting their own is very important. As Kenyan, they are Kenyan farmers who produce eggs, and we appreciate this. And they have always grown, they keep growing. But I tell you, in the region, Kenya is a very big market for the eggs. Even if the farms grow on both ends, the market will sort itself. The issue of quality is also baseless, because it's not the first time we are selling eggs to Kenya, and they come inspect our farms. A lot of farms have gotten certified by the ministry and have gotten approval to export from the Kenyan authorities. I will tell you categorically that the first time we had this issue as the association was during the avian flu outbreak in Uganda, and
Yes,
which was
yes.
very clear we had issues. So Kenyans and the Kenyan authorities came to inspect some of the farms, and a lot of farms passed the quality test on their establishments.
But
so
this
the quality matter is, by the way, they use it as an issue to drive home what they want. And I'll tell you, Kenya has always behaved in a very unfair way. When they want the eggs, they will take them. When they don't want them, they will talk about the quality aspects. When they're taking them, the quality is okay. So when they want to ban them, the quality is not okay.
Because as actually, let me pose this to you. Now and again, it has come up, especially when it comes to what the goods we export. And Kenya is not the only country that has actually come up to complain. Many times, Ugandans are accused that we produce substandard goods. I just want to understand, what kind of procedures, for example, when it comes to poultry, what kind of procedures do these goods go through before they're actually certified and then let to be exported out?
The process of making an egg is a long process. So when you're auditing quality, you need to audit the whole system. From when you receive a chicken, actually from when you construct the farm, there are some parameters that you put in place that will ensure that what you will produce later when you have the birds on the farm will be of quality, will meet international standards.
So it goes back all the way from...
Yes, from setting up the farm, from selecting a location of your farm. It should be away from people, from homesteads. It should be a fenced land. The houses, how you construct them, should allow you to clean them properly and efficiently. How you set up the inside where the birds are staying should be in a certain way. So we know this, and we've really, as ourselves as players, because like us, some of us are very much at the center of setting up these parameters on farms. We've helped people set up farms and help them have these standards. And we're aware there are so many farms here that have these standards, and we are continuously encouraging our members to get approvals, get registered by MAIZE, and get international certification. We have farms that have the latest ISO certification in Uganda. We have farms selling to UN.
So then it's not a question of eggs of our products being substandard.
No. We could have farms that, yes, need to improve. The improvement is a continuous process, because quality keeps shifting, keeps changing, keeps evolving. But we are up to the task, because some of us have invested money in this business. It's our lifestyle. We have nothing else to do.
Your livelihood is all in.
It depends
so this is
on
definitely
this business.
going to affect.
So we are continuously improving it, investing in it to make it better.
But also looking, I mean, this trade war has been ongoing for as far as I can remember. Would you say that retaliation at this point in time is the best way to go?
Retaliation always sounds to be bad. It sounds not the right word to use. But sometimes, if you're going into a discussion, you need to have something to base on. You need to bring your counterpart to the table with something. Because there's no incentive. For Kenya, the trade deficit works for them. They export more to Uganda. So coming to the table to discuss when already the borders for them are open to bring anything to Uganda, no restrictions. So why would they come to the table?
So in other words, it puts Uganda to more of a disadvantage, because then we are welcoming in everything. We do not have anything that we are shutting out. Yes, definitely, because in Uganda it's very, very difficult to find that the authorities have really banned a product from Kenya, from anywhere. We have a good, we welcome our neighbors with open hands most of the times for whatever they produce. Even when our
our industries have grown. We are now talking about Bubu, but we still have competition from the neighbors. We encourage health competition. You look at so many of the products, the margarine, the oils, to mention but a few. A lot of things come from Kenya, the biscuits, the juices, but we still produce our own today. Look, you go to the market today, a lot of mangoes, a lot of carrots, a lot of vegetables are from Kenya, but we are an agriculture country and we produce this.
Definitely.
But we still encourage them to come and have fair competition with us. And this is what we are talking about. Let there be fair competition.
So for you, yours is fair competition. Okay, interesting. So as we wind up this conversation, how best do you think this should have been handled?
I think the plea goes back to our government.
Our Ugandan government.
That it is very important to develop good trade policies between countries, on a one-on-one. Kenya, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, even before you go to the ESC. So they should, someone is sleeping on job, and this is what we keep talking about every press conference we've been at, every opportunity we get to talk on media. Someone is not doing their job and they need to wake up. So it's us. Before we even complain to the Kenyans, we need to first put our house in order, let the ministers, let the commissioners, whoever is responsible, do their job for the Ugandans.
Because in my mind, here's what I'm thinking, in my perspective. I'm thinking, for many people, this poultry is their source of livelihood. So if we're completely cut off, that is definitely going to impact us in one or the other, whether we like it or not. Especially for people who are constantly, and their livelihood is just throughout poultry.
Yes, and this is why we are saying it cannot happen. It shouldn't happen. Because a lot of households, a lot of businesses, not only those that have farms and have chicken, we have a lot of support industries around poultry. We have the people that make, the milling companies that make the maize flour. We have the guys, the milling companies like Mukwano, who sells us soya, cotton cake, sunflower cake. We have a lot of support companies, those that make the vaccines, the people that make the antibiotics, the people that make the equipment. They all survive on this industry. Somewhere, somehow, everyone will be impacted. Even those planning to join, because I'll tell you, this is the industry that is easy for anyone in Uganda. Even the poorest of the poor can join this industry and make a living. The vulnerable people, the women, can participate ably in this industry and make a living and add value to their communities, to their families. So those already in the business are affected. Even those that have an opportunity to make a living out of this business are being affected by this ban. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this conversation. Time is not on our best side. However, if you would like to be a part of this conversation, all you need to do is go to our Twitter platform, that is at CTV Uganda, and leave your comment down below. Do you think retaliation is the best way to go? But also, if you heard from our guest, according to him, someone is sleeping on job. So the question is, how best can we actually handle what is ongoing between Uganda and Kenya? Because at the end of the day, we want betterment for our economy. We want to benefit both sides, because that is what we all want. And that winds up the conversation that we had for you today. Up next is lifestyle, wellness, and beauty. You don't want to miss that. Good morning.